Awesome.
Thanks, Christine.
All right. Good morning, everyone. As Bernie said, my name is Christine Orsinski. I am the community engagement manager here at ASERT. And today I'm just going to go over an overview of ASERT, what we have, what you can find on our website, and also where to find it on our website because we do have so much information online. Um, I will also preface that I was not the one doing the presentations. Those were my colleagues. I am not a clinician. However, if you ever have clinical questions or very specific questions, you can always reach out to me as your point person and I will get you to the right person on the ASERT team. So I just want to make sure everyone does know that you can always come to me for any kind of questions. All right. So first and foremost, who is ASERT? We are an online collaborative. We are funded through ODP. I am based out of Penn State College of Medicine, so I'm in that yellow area in Hershey. We collaborate very well with the AJ Drexel Institute of Autism in Philadelphia and the UPMC Western Psychiatric Hospital in Pittsburgh. We are all ASERT. We all work on the same project. We work very well together. I just joke that I don't have to drive to Erie. So like we're all one, but we are technically through different medical organizations. The role and the purpose of ASERT. Really, it's to get the information around autism into the hands of people who need that. We are not trying to replace any institutions or our organizations. We don't provide front facing services. We are really here to pool resources, create the resources that are needed for our community, specifically within Pennsylvania. We have a lot of ongoing projects. ODP gives us some ideas. We come up with some on our own and we kind of put that into practice, all supporting the autism community, birth through seniors, end of life. It's not just for early education, young kiddos. We do have support or we do have resources that is all for all stages of life. Kind of what do we do? First and foremost, we educate. So yes, we have online trainings. We've got online print resources. I should say online training, online like e-learning sessions that you could do any time of day through our e-learning course, which I'll get into. But we do also, as Brandy said, we do presentations in person, virtual. We submit for multiple associations across the state throughout the year. Our director actually just did a presentation at the Patan conference this week out in Lancaster on transition waivers and the tools for transitioning out of high school, out of schooling into the adult world. So we're all over the place doing trainings everywhere. So if you guys are looking for trainings, reach out. As long as we can make it work and it's in our wheelhouse, we will absolutely do it. We are also, as I said, a state funded or grant funded collaborative. We do not charge for our trainings. So everything that we do is completely free to you guys. We build resources, programs, and innovative projects. One project that we're working on right now, the East is leading it, is the working groups for the Pennsylvania Autism Needs Assessment. It has been years since this has been done. So that is a project that they are currently working on full force, hoping to actually get the needs assessment out, actually out for people to take in 2027. So that's just one of the projects. I am also going to do a plug for our art therapy research study. I know this is not in your wheelhouse for the ages that you work with. However, it might be people that you know. The central region, so right in the Cumberland, Dauphin, Perry kind of area, we are doing a research study on how art therapy with the autistic population and coping skills, right? So it's an IRB approved. We're recruiting. So and it's 18 to 35 years old with an autism diagnosis. So that's just another project that we're working on, hoping to get good data and then be able to present and share this information just to, better get that information and to provide more support for the autism community. So we do a lot. There we go. We do have 3 separate websites that we kind of oversee. I kind of call the ASERT website not for preschoolers. I will tell you, this is our very first stab at actually doing a research study and utilizing, we're contracting with the local art therapist and to get information and data because there's not a lot out there. But you can also reach out to us, and we can I can connect you with our art therapist, and we can kind of help provide you some things. The ASERT website, I always call it our umbrella website. Most everything we have will fall under the paautism.org. We do have two others that are more specifically focused on different areas. But first, I'm just going to go over the paautism.org. As I mentioned, it is going to be our primary website. When in doubt, start with PA Autism. That is going to be the landing page whenever you go onto our website. The only thing that's missing in the screen grab is we do have a landing page for our Spanish resources. It is going to be in the header. I think you guys can see my mouse. It'll be right up above the green teal area. We're working on getting a different, like a better way to find multiple languages that we have our resources in. We are a very small team, and our tech team is even smaller. So right now we do just have the Spanish one because that is the one that is the most used. The first button I would like to highlight is Autism in Pennsylvania. The first thing you're going to find on there is the This is Autism video series. We launched this about 2 years ago. We went around the state, and there were, well, we didn't. Our local production team did all the videos for us, and it's the stories of 12 different autistic individuals. We're talking different ages, different ethnic backgrounds, different rural, urban, suburban settings, different ages, different abilities, different disabilities. It is just a wonderful way to see what autism looks like. We've got the little kiddos from 4 and 6 years old through adults. So it's just their story, and it's an amazing little 5-minute videos. If you just want like a quick feel good, they are all fantastic. I will say for the young kiddos, it's Lincoln and Jacob, and they are stinking cute. So I recommend watching them. On there, you'll also find the autism census and the needs assessment. If you click in there, you'll see the needs assessment is probably over 10 years old, which is why we're working on the working group to get that updated. But you will find that older data on that part of our website. I call the resource button our bread and butter. We have over 800 resources on our website, on specifically the PA Autism website. So this is where you're going to find, the stuff for your little kiddos that you work with early intervention. We do have a resource collection called Early Childhood Resource Collection. You guys will all get a copy of the slide deck. I'll get that over to Brandy to share. It will be hyperlinked. You can go to the search bar, put in early childhood. Things will populate if you're looking for them. Some of the other resources that we have are characteristics of autism, interacting with individuals on the autism spectrum, listening skills, and like I said, we've got hundreds more. We have a bunch of social stories too, if that's something that you guys have in your toolbox. I know you guys work with the littles, so it's like even ones on like deep breathing, and you can go through just the pictures and explain the different pictures of how to do deep breathing, right? So if there's something you're looking for, I always tell people, check on our website first before you go down the Google rabbit hole, because if we don't have it or if we are not aware of it, we can also point you to other places, but it's a great start to start with the search of resources. Events. This would be, you'll find your one-off events here. So whether it is a resource fair that we're attending. Last night, I was at the local Navy base in Mechanicsburg because they had a back-to-school bash for anyone who worked on base or any of the military installations around Mechanicsburg and their families, right? So I don't know if we promoted it, but like if it was open to the public, we're promoting it as a one-off event on our events page. If you have a parent who's looking for a sensory-friendly Santa, that's the one I always highlight, because end of October, I always look at my part-time staff and I'm like, guys, you know what time it is? They're like, yeah, Santa. I think it's very important for kids to experience Santa. So we look for all of the sensory-friendly Santas that we can find in the state, and we're going to be posting it. We do not post everything, but we do our best to provide different events and trainings that we are aware of on our website. Everything is searchable by county. It'll pop up the map of Pennsylvania. You would pick your county. I live in Cumberland. Anything that's happening in my county or virtually will populate. Very easy to find On the flip side of that, if you guys are aware of anything happening in your counties, in your areas, that is specifically autism friendly, sensory friendly, all inclusive, anything like that, and it's not on our website, feel free, take that URL, email it to our main email address, email it to me and say, hey, this is happening near me. We'll review it and get that posted if that's something that fits under our criteria. We're all about sharing information and events and learning opportunities. Very similar to our event page is going to be our support and social group map. Everything, again, is also searchable by county. So that's going to be in-person or virtual groups. This one is, I always say toggle, it's a radio button. But you can pick, are you looking for that traditional support group for parents, for caregivers, for self-advocates themselves in the traditional sense? The social group side is going to be, am I looking for a reoccurring social group? So if there is a library that's doing an all-inclusive craft night the third Thursday of every month, if it's a reoccurring group, social group, that is what we're going to be putting on our social group map. I think there's a virtual chair yoga that happens weekly, right? So if it's a social group, it's going to be under that tab as well. All right, e-learning. This is kind of touched base on this already. Our platform is called Lantern. It is completely free to utilize and to watch any of the trainings. You do need an email address to log in, and that's just so you can track your work that you do. This is not kind of, we're not going to spam you with anything on this. This is exclusively for just logging in and tracking. Sorry, my Teams is going off. I shut it down and I'm still getting the pop-up notifications. I do apologize. So it's going to be all types of different courses. So it's going to be for self-advocates, for the DSP staff, for caregivers and family members. We even have some on pharmaceutical. I tried watching that course and I was like, that is over my head. I'm not going to watch it, but we have a lot of different options. We are very close to finalizing our Autism 101 course, which is basically the training that our clinicians would go out and do, but putting it into a module format. So say it's for a group that has like 3 shifts, like prison staff or hospital staff. That third shift group can still get that information, the same exact information, just add on module, not with the trainer going out at like 10 o'clock at night. Should be coming up soon. We're in the final stages of getting the final touches put onto that. I will highlight the podcast. We launched this about a year ago. It is 1 episode a month. My colleague Isabel and one of our part-time staffers, Kel, they are co-hosts of our podcast. They have a fantastic time recording. They used to record in the office. Now there's an actual recording place within campus that they go to. But you could hear them laughing. They're always having a good time. It is a very great conversation in their podcast, and it is geared towards the self-advocate. A lot of the podcasts that they found out there were for parents or the professionals or caregivers. This one is for the self-advocate. So I know you guys work with kiddos, but again, broad thought here. Family members that you might have, people in your communities. It's a great. It's just a great podcast. Wholesome, and just I highly recommend it. Bumping into our next website, and I'll go a little quickly on this one. ASD Next is geared towards our transition age population. So the resources that are going to be found on ASD Next are going to be specifically for that. So I think we're about 250 resources, because it's not going to be like early signs to look for in toddlers, right? It's going to be, am I ready to drive? The difference between high school and college, things like that. Those are the resources that are going to be found on ASD Next. The next slide here, there we go, is a screen grab of our community page. We do have a Discord server. We've got staff in there almost every day to monitor conversations and what's being talked about. Because we definitely heard that, it could be like the Wild West and you don't know what people are talking about. Well, we've got eyes and ears in there. We try to do virtual events almost once a month, trying to get engagement and build community. We have an art gallery. So anyone on the spectrum who does artwork, we encourage them to submit their artwork and we will add it to the art gallery on our website. We show different social events, so these are going to be a little bit different than what's on the ASERT website. These are going to be actual community events that someone who's in that age group, if they're looking for something fun and social to do, they can then go there and find different events happening in their counties. We also have a survey. We highlight blogs. We've got bloggers on the spectrum who also blog for us. So all of that can be found on the ASD Next website. Aid in PA. So this website started during the time of the thick of COVID, with all that information coming out around the pandemic. So it was also the collaboration between us, ASD Next, Philly Autism Project, and the HICUs. Kind of getting an overhaul. We're changing directions a little bit. We're redefining the focus, so it's really going to be more focused on the health promotion, public health, and the broader IDEA community. So it's not just going to be specifically autism based. It's also going to include the intellectual disability information as well. Two projects I'd like to highlight under Aid in PA first is emergency preparedness. This is ongoing. So first, the overview of disasters, social stories around disasters of like preparing for power outage, preparing for extreme heat, preparing for winter weather, things like that are all going to be listed under Aid in PA. The team is currently working on additional emergency preparedness information as well. It was brought to my attention in one of my other calls about like doing fire drills with students with disabilities and then their reactions to it, or being like, what is a fire drill, or unfortunately, I hate saying this, the active shooter drill, right? So some topics were brought to us, and we're working with some external contractors to really get some of those resources for teachers and professionals and also students to understand it a little bit better and kind of have more tools in their toolbox for kind of working through some emergency preparedness drills and things like that. One of our last slides will be where you can sign up for our e-newsletter. I always tell people we send one out a month. You're never going to get spammed, but I highly recommend it because when we do have these new resources that are finalized on emergency preparedness, on other like pool safety and water safety, we will promote these things in our e-newsletter. The second one down is TRAIN, which stands for Trauma Recovery for Autistic, Intellectually Disabled, and Neurodiverse Adults. This is the course. It is completely free. It is it is created for therapists who provide one-on-one talk therapy. I was just telling Randy earlier, we just filled the fall cohort yesterday. If you know someone who is a one-on-one therapist who works with the autistic population, wants to know more about trauma recovery, have them fill out the survey that they're interested. And when we start recruiting for our spring cohort, that's the list we'll go off of first. So if you or anyone you know fits that, take a look on our website, see if you fit the criteria, and submit if you're interested. All right, our resource center. So our resource center is basically, if you have questions, we're going to help you find the answers. So who can reach out to us? Parents, caregivers, self-advocates, professionals, community, anyone, just anyone. Why are you going to reach out? I always tell people, if you have any kind of questions, if you're getting conflicting information, like, hey, my school is telling me one thing, but my PCP is telling me I should do something else, and I'm really confused, reach out to us. We've got resource center specialists in all three of our regions who are absolutely fantastic. They will get back in touch with you. Our goal is always within 3 business days. You can also put in there that would you like a phone call or would you like an email back? Your preference, we will try to make sure we do whatever your preference is. Very important to note that we cannot make referrals or suggest specific providers in any way. Not even dentists, not therapists. We cannot make referrals because we are grant funded through the state, and just we can't do that. But we can connect you with other organizations if you're looking for information. How to reach out to us. You can reach out to us by telephone. We have an English and Spanish line. We do call it a warm line. Like I said, no one's going to actually answer. It's going to leave a voicemail and someone will call you back or email you back. Phone is great. I suggest any of the other ways as well. I used to pull the voicemails, and I will tell you, TP, they all sound very similar if you are not speaking clearly or speaking very fast. We want to make sure that we're going to be able to get back in touch with you. So unless you know you're speaking very clearly, I recommend emailing us or using our website. Email, we do have 2 email addresses on there. We have a contract with Vision for Equality out of Philadelphia with Marisol. She's wonderful, and she handles all of our Spanish tickets. If you have any other languages, that is perfectly fine. We have access to the translation services here at Penn State Health. So if you have someone, I think one was Haitian Creole, or was another one that was not very like standard. That's okay. We've got access to translators, so that, please don't hesitate to have the family reach out to us on behalf of that family. You could also use our contact us button on the website, and you can just submit the form online. We do ask for your county, and that is only so we can kind of get you to the right resource center specialist. Like I said, we've got different regions because some things are regionally different, or sometimes there's organizations that are only in one area and not the other. And our resource center specialists in those regions are very well versed with what's within their counties that they cover. So that's the only reason we ask for your county. We're not going to try to find the family or anything like that. Here's how you can connect with us. We are on social media. I definitely recommend following us. If there's like a quick thing we want to kind of promote, or a lot of times Isabel's also, she's our digital strategy manager. We do a lot of cross-sharing information with different organizations. So follow us online, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. That's how there's a QR code to sign up for our e-newsletter. Again, you guys will get the slide deck, so I'm going to jump forward real quick. There's our general website, general email. Mine's really long, so if you want to just email info@ and say, hey, Christine, it will find its way to me. But you will get my direct email as well. And then we can open up for questions if you have anything you want to go into a little further. This is a very brief survey, just kind of asking you about the presentation today, but more specifically, if you would like rack cards, if you would like any type of information or resources emailed to you or mailed to you directly, free of charge, this is where you can say, yep, here's my mailing address. This is what I want. And next time I am in the office, which will be next week, I will definitely work on getting this all sent out to anyone who is interested in receiving resources or information from ASERT. I'm just going to leave this one up so you can all make sure you guys get the QR code scan.
Yeah, I copied it too, and I will send it out via like a web address link when I send out certificates. So if that's easier than the QR code, I'll make sure that link is there. I'm emailing it to myself right now. And a bunch of people had said in the chat about asking around flyers. So that was perfect timing. I'm wondering if there's any other questions.
But I love how you said this. So flyers, if you say you want flyers, this is fantastic. We have a few. One being, we do have one about volume. We've got QR codes that are good for like parents, like the quick, I'm looking for an event, I'm looking for a support group. So if you say flyers, you might get a bunch. Just use what you need and disregard the others. But we've got a couple in creation. I'm real big on flyers, so like we've got like 5. So I'm like, sorry guys.
Fantastic. Any other questions for Christine before we have to jump off? I saw a lot of excitement around Spanish resources. Go ahead, Gabrielle.
So my question is, I know that you guys do the e-learning courses, but do you guys do like live courses for like Head Start at all?
We can.
Like a parent training?
We can. So trying to figure out how to really word this one. Yes, we can. The bottom line is yes. You reach out to me, tell me what you're thinking. If it's something specifically that you want, like your team members or your staff to have a training, like an ASC 101 training, we can definitely get that set up. If it's going to be for parents with kiddos who are diagnosed, or all parents, right? You
Mhm.
tell us what you're looking for, and I can work with my clinicians, especially if it's like I know virtual trainings, it's easy, but it's not as engaging sometimes. Like there's pros and cons with everything, right? Depending on where you are in the state, it might be the easiest way for us to do is going to be virtual, or if you're trying to do it over a lunch break or something like that, virtual is ideal because we don't have to travel. Again, small team over here. Um,
Mhm.
but yes, we can do the trainings. We just kind of have to have it set up, make it sure it fits one of our clinicians' schedule. Our director did one earlier in the year for Tioga School District, one of the districts up there, and it was yes for the parents, and it was like the information, but also with the parent's perspective, because she is a parent of an autistic individual, of an autistic child, right? So it had that firsthand experience along with that clinical informative side as well. um we've done a lot of different presentations, so like it's more like you guys tell us what you're looking for and we can kind of work with you there. um Kind of jumping back to the Spanish information, we actually just had a call earlier this week about how we can really make that more robust. And we had a live webinar panel on starting and maintaining an autism support group. Those recordings are found online. So if you or families that at your center are interested, we had one in English and we had another panel in Spanish. I think what I've been told was the Spanish one was good, but I sat in on it, but I don't speak Spanish. So I was like, it sounds good to me. I'm not quite sure. But we are talking with the moderator, Anna, to potentially in early October do like an Autism 101 live webinar. It will be in our newsletter if this is something that we can pull together during National Hispanic, or I forget the month that celebrates Hispanic culture. We're going to try to get it fit within that month and provide and really promote it for the Spanish speaking community in Pennsylvania. That is our goal. It is nothing set in stone quite yet. But again, if that's something that you guys are interested in, follow us online, sign up for our e-newsletter. You'll get the information and promotion that way.
Thank you, Christine.
Of
We are
course.
at 9:30, so I want to be mindful, but thank you so much for your time, Christine. It
If
sounds
you
like
have
people are
questions, you guys have my
too.
email, so please reach out.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you. Oh, the next one will be September 11th, and we're going to be meeting with Career Link. So I'll see you September 11th.
Bye,
Thanks, everyone.
everyone. Thank you.